Alright, so I'll start out by apologizing in advance. This is probably not going to be the best video, but because I'm using my tablet, I can't get the uh, camera for my computer to work at the moment. But so I think I've made one video for this channel so far, so this will be like the second one. This will be a real good intro, hopefully. So some of the reason I'm wanting to do this channel is to kind of give you guys uh, some how-to videos. We'll try and do as much how-to. I get asked a lot of how to vectorize stuff and whatnot, and I'll show you how I do it because I don't use like Corel Draw or Adobe Illustrator or anything. I just do it right on my cut software to make a lot of the custom images. I do have my cousin do a lot of the design stuff if it's printed or anything like that, but we'll get into that later. Uh, but I'll kind of talk in this video of how I got started, why, where, how far I've came, and what our plans for the future for the business are. And I also want to talk about, or well, not just this video, but I want to do some videos on of just doing this as professionally as possible on a budget, because a lot of people, they'll go get a Cricut cutter and they'll think, oh, I'm gonna make decals, and some do all right with it. I see new people posting stuff on the buy sell trades. They come, they go, and so to kind of do this as a lasting business that uh, on a budget, grow as a budget. I started this with $100 cutter and turned it into several $100s, but nonetheless. Uh, but those are some of the things that I kind of want to help people with because I get a lot of questions on some of that stuff through Facebook and whatnot, and so I just kind of want to touch on that a bit throughout different videos and a little bit with this one. So um, as we get new equipment here in the future, here in the next few months, we'll kind of show you how to set it up, learning all the new stuff that we're going to be doing, how I kind of come up with ideas for craft like stuff, to kind of fill in for slow times of the year, and just different stuff. You go to shows, you do some vinyl on something, and it, whether it sells or not, it gives people an idea of what they can do with stuff. So somebody who's a crafter might, sorry, trying to get that glare out. Somebody who's a crafter might go, well, shit, I could just use this guy. This is a pretty good idea. Things like that. Different little money makers. And that's one of the things I'm still trying to figure out is how to do decent little projects that not only showcase what we can do, but uh, turn into sales, not just okay, well, I can do this, you know, because yeah, that turns into sales, when you can showcase your work. But if people aren't buying some of those, then uh, it's those things. They in my experience don't sell a lot. You don't have huge amounts of sales of some of this small custom stuff like novelty shirts and backpacks and other stuff. But it does add up. In this video, I'm not going to show that kind of stuff, but we'll show some of those kind of ideas. And if you want to look up our page on Facebook, it's Deweese Graphics and Vinyl. Graphics is with an X, so uh, but all of our stuff's on there. I'll try and give you guys some ideas of unconventional advertising that works for us. It's not going to work for everybody. I'm still trying to learn how to advertise and expand and grow and bring in steady stream of business. It's hard, you know. Um, but I guess with that, I'll kind of go into how I got started with this. I had a antique store, and I used to do, well, I still do flea markets, but I used to do a lot more and actually, sell antiques and different stuff. And came across the cutter. I was looking for something new, and it's something I had thought about for a while, and grabbed the cutter, and turned out the software was old enough that you couldn't use it anymore. They didn't give you a code to register to your computer to actually cut with, so I had to buy software and vinyl and a bunch of other stuff. Um, and kind of learned from YouTube the best I could, and a lot of trial and error. Uh, not a whole lot of error. I uh, I started with little 6x6 decals and stuff, and you got to be careful with some of that kind of stuff because it will get you in kind of a niche that it makes money, but it doesn't. It can kind of hold you back from expanding on some different stuff if you want to do stuff with businesses and things like that. Um, so I wanted to do so that's kind of how I got started. I just kind of jumped head first into it and got the cutter, and then when I got the software and the vinyl and a heat press and mug press and things like that, as to why, kind of, like I said, I wanted something different to do. Antiques were kind of dying out. People kind of want you to repurpose stuff anymore instead of just selling an antique. Used to, they would buy them and repurpose them themselves, but now people are lazy, so not so much lazy. I guess if people don't have time. You got a busy schedule, kids, work, whatever. So but it's just not something I wanted to do, and I like to do art and stuff. So this is kind of a form of art that I'm capable of doing. And I'm big into derby and racing, and being able to provide a product at a better price than the average vinyl shop. We're fairly cheaper than most places. There's not too many places that match or beat our prices. We are definitely cheapest place in town, um, but I haven't done a real good job of advertising here in town yet. But over the last 2 years, my goal has just been to produce a good quality product at a reasonable price for people on a budget. That when you race and you derby, it gets expensive, and spray paint's a cheaper option for derby, but it doesn't look the best. And some of these people, they want something that looks good that doesn't break the bank. So that's what we did. We've done some with shirts, and we want to get more deeper into it. We're looking at a couple of different options. We'd probably go with both, maybe. Um, but screen printing is one thing we're looking at, and some printed vinyl transfers that are supposed to be really good quality. But I want to check that out more before I decide to go strictly with it. I don't know what kind of an option that'll be for me. At the moment, I sub out all of our printed vinyl, so um, but as getting into businesses and stuff, businesses, they're on a budget, and if you can't meet their budget or do it below their budget, you're gonna get passed up. And you know, pricing is a big thing you have to think about and figure out. And uh, something I'm still trying to figure out, on some of it. But yeah, that's kind of why I got into it. How and why. kind of where we're going. We're looking at getting a larger cutter, partially because depending on the printer we get, because we're probably not going to get the latest and greatest. I, I don't really have, a small struggling business. I don't have $30,000 to spend on the printer I want. That's got a built-in cutter, and the guy that does my printing for me, that's what he has. But he still needs a cutter on the side. So, but we also, some of the stuff we need to do cut vinyl. We need a bigger cutter. I will say something I forgot to mention earlier. I was saying everybody, gets a Cricut, and it's hard to make a lot of money, doing the little decals and doing much with cut vinyl. Cut vinyl, it's not something that's dying out, but it's really competitive because it's easy to do, it's cheap, and there's a huge profit that you can make. I make what I think is a great profit, and I'm not making what a lot of these guys charge. Uh, but that's just something to keep in mind, that buying a printer may be a better option. But we're looking at a somewhat used older model printer. It'll still do the quality we need, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles at the moment. But it'll get us by until we can save up for that. It's like I said, I want to do screen printing. Um, I'll kind of show you the process of that, and what the setup that I'm looking at, which is it's an eBay setup, but it's me, it's a pretty complete kit. So it, I think for pricing it out for what I want, what I need to kind of accomplish things, it's the best bang for my buck for now. And some of this, the reason why I'm not buying the most expensive thing I can is because until I know that it's gonna make me enough, to expand, then I'm not gonna put the most money. You don't want to go too cheap, but you don't always have to get the most expensive thing to start out, and test the waters. Every time you upgrade, you can find a cheap option to, kind of try it out. Is there enough of a market? It seems like it, but, if I go ahead and spend that $5,000 on a cutter, is that $5,000 cutter going to make me any more money than if I got a $300 cutter, 50 some inch cutter? This is just something to think about. Um, I know I've kind of bounced around a little bit. I need to write my ideas down for these videos, and I'll try and get better. I'll try and get the camera situation figured out, and we'll go from there. Like I said, tutorials. I just did one. Just did a project here a little bit ago. I should have videoed. Um, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'll probably try and record another one for next week or whatever. Just kind of vlog some of my thoughts and stuff and on the business and what I'm doing at the particular moment. But I want to try and do one vlog and one tutorial a week, or something. It's not going to be too consistent at the moment because it's the slow time of year. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check us out on Facebook at Deweese Graphics and Vinyl. I'll try and put the link below, and I'll leave you at that. Next week I'll try and talk about the equipment I have. So, alright, bye.